The Sunshine State is enduring its worst flooding in decades and there's no reprieve in sight. More than 1,000 people, including the entire population of the central Queensland town of Theodore, have been evacuated. The emergency focus has now shifted to Bundaberg, where 40 homes are underwater, and residents in Emerald and the city of Rockhampton are on alert as water levels are expected to approach record highs within the next 2 days. George Roberts has more.
Bundaberg's barely recognisable. The Burnett River won't peak until midnight, but with this much water, some residents aren't sticking around. Overnight, authorities got stuck in, attempting to hold back the deluge. Those who could...
Who's coming home?
...left with their valuables.
It's heartbreaking, but it would have been worse if I'd have come in the morning and found everything dead. That would have been too much for me.
The SES has been helping people to leave, but with more water on the way, they're asking others to get out or risk being isolated. The Premier, Anna Bligh, has cut her holiday short and visited Bundaberg for a briefing.
This flood is going to be potentially worse than anything in the living memory of most people in this region.
Further inland, the floodwater moved into Theodore and its 300 residents moved out. A fleet of helicopters came in, taking the last of the locals and their pets to safety.
We didn't ever think that it would come to this.
Obviously, we don't know how long it's going to be before they can come back. I do feel for them.
Those who fled have set up a home at a mining camp in Mowra. It's the first time in the state's history an entire town's been evacuated. The flood crisis has prompted state and federal government action. Financial help is on the way.
The Queensland Government has started the flood relief appeal with a $1 million donation.
The Australian Government will match that donation with $1 million.
Some economists tip the floods to put a $7 billion dent in Australia's economy. In the state's south, most of the water's gone from Dalby, but the damage is already done. 1/2 metre of water went through homes. For 77-year-old local Pat Hands, there's an overwhelming task ahead.
Oh, it's shocking. It smells, there's water, there's mud, the carpets are ruined, the lino's ruined.
But the clean-up's on hold. While there's still plenty of water about, it's not safe enough to use. The floods tainted the town's supply, and there's only 2 days of fresh water left. Overall, there's no end in sight.
These floodwaters are likely to remain high for a long period of time. In some cases, that might be measured by weeks.
For now, the water's moving on and into more towns that are preparing for the worst. George Roberts, ABC News.